What if I told you you could turn your Python code into a beautiful interactive web app in less than a minute with no HTML, CSS, and no backend setup? Sounds crazy, right? Today I'll show you how. Using Streamlit, the simplest and most magical tool to bring your Python scripts to life. And by the end of this video, you will be building your own app with sliders, checkboxes, text inputs, and more. Let's make your Python talk to the user. All right. So, what exactly is Streamlit? Think of it as the bridge between your Python code and a beautiful web interface. You don't need Flask, Django, or front end code, just Python. Let's start simple. Open your terminal and type pip install Streamlit. Pip install Streamlit. Okay. So we'll wait for it to install. It's in progress. If you see the installation is completed now, you will have to do the same from your terminal and then you'll have to create a file app.py. For me, it's already created. I have already created this. So we'll go ahead with this. Now that the Streamlit installation is complete, let's import Streamlit in our app.py. Import, sorry, here in the app.py, import Streamlit as st. I'll also import numpy and let me also import pandas as pd. Okay, so the imports are done. Let's quickly jump into the first and the most important component in Streamlit, that is title. So the title is used to create and display title for our web application. So for that, I'll use the component called title here and I'll pass hello Streamlit. Okay, so let's keep this simple. The first web page, our first web page, we'll keep it simple. We'll run this and see how the web page displays the title. For that, you'll have to come to the command prompt or the terminal here and write streamlit, then run and call the app.py. Because I'm already there in the folder where my app.py is, I'm not giving any path. But if you have your app.py in some other folder, you'll have to give the full path here. Okay. So it redirects me to a web page and it displays my title here. So here you go. This is your first web page running locally. This will run on localhost. Now that we have created the title, let's go ahead and write a simple text. So for that, I'll use the component st.write and here is a simple text. So this is done. I have written a simple text here. So this time I need not execute or call the app.py again. I'll just go to the web application or the browser. I'll just refresh this to see that the text is displayed here. Okay. And then we have created a title here. We have written a simple text also displayed on the web application. Now let's see how do we create a data frame and how do we display the same on our application, web application. Okay. For that, I'll write st.write. Oh, sorry. For that, I'll first create a data frame. Okay. df is equal to pd dot data frame. And let's create a data frame here. So I'll have first column as I'll pass maybe 1, 2, 3, and 4, and my second column as within brackets 10, 20, 30, and 40. So my data frame creation is complete now. So let us just display the same here. Okay, in the web page. Here is the data frame, and I'll again call the write component and pass the data frame here. Okay, so I've saved the changes here. I'll go to the browser or application. I'll just hit the refresh button. And if you see, it's displaying here is the data frame along with the components of the data frame, the first column and the second column and their values. Okay, now we have learned how do we create and display data frame. Let's go ahead and see how do we create and display a line chart in the web application using Streamlit. So for that, I'll have to create the chart data first. So pd.dataframe, and within this, let me use the random function to generate some numbers or values for the chart. Okay, I'll use numpy np dot the random and rand n. I want to create 20 rows with 3 columns. So I'll pass the columns here, column names here. Suppose A, B, and C. So A, B, C are my column names here. So I have my chart data ready. I'll just write it here, st dot using the line chart component here. I will pass the chart data. So let us save this and I'll refresh the browser again to see if the line chart gets displayed here. Okay. If you see here, here are my columns ABC with the data populated here with the line chart. Okay. So now comes the fun part, the widgets. Widgets are what makes your app interactive. Let's explore the most useful ones one by one. So let's create a widgets.py file here. I have already created that in the same folder where my app.py is. So we'll import the same Streamlit here, Streamlit as st, and also let's import pandas as pd. Okay, and we'll see what all widgets are available, and we will make use of some of the most important and common widgets of Streamlit to have our web app developed. Okay, so let's create the title of the web application first using st.title, and here I'll pass Streamlit text input. Okay, so our title is ready. Next, what I'll do, I want to create a text box where user will input some text. Okay, or maybe we'll ask for user's name to be displayed or entered in the text box. So name is equal to st dot text input. This is one of the important widget available in Streamlit. So we will say enter your name. Okay. So whatever users enters in the text box, right, it gets saved in the variable called name here. So I'll just save this and what I'll do, okay, let's just do one condition, if name. So if user enters some name and clicks enter, then it will display. So we'll display that using st.write and one f string here, hello, comma, and we'll pass the name here. Okay, so I'll save this. I'll call this widgets.py and we'll see how our web application looks like. So Streamlit run widgets.py. Okay, so when I run this, it opens me a web page where it gives me my title, Streamlit text input, and then it asks for my name. So what I'll do, I'll pass the name as Ipshita, and if I run this, it displays hello Ipshita. So this is working perfectly fine. Okay, so single line and you have got interactivity. Now let's discuss another amazing and interesting widget in Streamlit, that is slider. So I'll give you an example and I'll show you and explain you when I display this in the application. For that, I'll use the age variable and st.slider. So slider is the widget here, and I'll ask user to select your age. Okay, and I'll pass the range as 0 to 100. So I'm asking a user to select his or her age and I'm giving the range as 0 to 100, and I'll pass 25 here. So 25, so the third parameter I'll explain you when I go to the application and I'll give you the details with the example there. Okay. And then I'll write st dot write the f string, and then your age is age. Okay, so I will save this, save the changes, and I'll go to the browser here. I'll just refresh this. Okay, if you see here, it's asking select your age and it's giving me a window of 0 to 100. And here is the third component, guys. By default, it will be the cursor will be on 25. So I have shown you, right? Here is the third parameter which says 25. So this is what the use is. So 25 would be the default one and it is displayed here. Your age is 25. So this is the default value. and I can change the slider here as per my requirement. If I change this here, if you see here dynamically, the age is also changing. Cool, right? You can use the slider value in a Python logic, instantly updating results. Now let's go to another widget, and it's also most very interesting, I would say, which is a select box or a drop down box. Okay, let's go ahead and create a drop down box for us. I'll create a variable called options here, and I'll pass the options as Python, then Java, and then C++. Let me give another option for JavaScript also. Okay, so these are my options. I'll pass these options to the select box. For that, I'll create another variable choice is equal to st dot select box. Okay, within the select box, I'll ask choose your favorite language. Okay, and I'll pass the options here in the select box. Now, when I do st dot write, and I'll pass that string here, I'll write you selected, and I'll write the choice here. Okay, so whatever user selects from the checkbox, it will be stored in this variable called choice, and I'm just printing this out here. You selected whatever language is the favorite one, whatever user has selected. So now let me just save this and I'll refresh it here. Okay, so what I'll do is let me just select JavaScript. If I select JavaScript, it will say you selected JavaScript. I can change this to Python. It will return me the corresponding output here. Okay. In just a few lines, your app starts talking back to you. And let's go ahead and see. We'll create a data frame and display the same there in our web page. Okay. For that, I'll create a variable called data is equal to, and I'll write name. I'll pass a list of names here. John, and then I'll pass Jane, and then Jack, and then Jill. Okay, so these are my names, and then I'll pass another attribute called age, where I'll pass 28, comma 24, comma 35, comma 40. Okay, and next I'll pass the city. City is my another attribute where I'm passing New York, and then let me pass Los Angeles, and then I'll pass Chicago, and then Houston. Okay, so this is my data frame. Let me just create a data frame. This is my data. I'll have to create a data frame on top of this. So pd dot data frame, pd dot data frame, and to this I'll pass my data here. Okay, now if I do st dot write df, I'll save this and we'll see on the browser here. Okay, if you see here, the data frame got displayed here, the name, age, and the corresponding cities. Okay. Now let us see one more important example where we try to upload a CSV file from to the web browser or the web application that we have created right now. Okay, for that I'll need a CSV. So let's create a CSV, or what we can do is we can just write this data frame output to a CSV here. So what I'll do df dot to CSV. I'll use this to CSV function and I'll just name it as sample data dot CSV. Okay. So I have created one CSV here, sample data dot CSV. And now what I'll do is I'll write I'll use one widget, or not a widget, I'll use one function here, which I'll call to have the provision that the user can upload a file from the web browser. Okay. Or upload a file to the web browser. So I'll create a variable here, upload files. is equal to st dot file uploader. This is the function file uploader, and then choose a CSV file, comma, type also I'll give it as CSV. Okay, so this is my file uploader function, and then if uploaded file is not none, if the uploaded file is not none, files. Okay, upload files. Sorry, my bad. Upload files is not none. Then what I'll do, df is equal to pd dot read CSV. I'll read that CSV which I uploaded here. Upload files. Okay, and then I'll write the same CSV content df. Okay, so what I've done here is I've used the upload file uploader function, which will give the user provision to choose a file from local and upload it to the web application. From there, I'm seeing if the file is not null or not none, that's a valid file, then read the CSV and write it back to the web application. So we'll just refresh the browser and we'll see the output here. Okay, if you see here, it is asking me to browse files and upload a CSV. So let me just copy. If you see here, my sample.csv is here. So I'll just copy the file path, copy path. Okay. I'll go to the browser. So I'll browse the files here and I'll give the path here. So if you see here, I have the sample data.csv here in my folder. I'll just open this and the file got uploaded here, and also it's displaying the output of the CSV, the name, the age and the city. The same thing that has been displayed here is being displayed in the same way. Okay. And that's how you build interactive Python apps using Streamlit. If you enjoyed this tutorial, smash the like button and subscribe for the next one, where we are going to create a machine learning app using Streamlit and Pandas. Drop a comment saying which widget you loved the most. I'll see you all in the next video where your Python turns into a full blown app.